Alright, so we just finished clearing the village and just kinda gonna reload some of these weapons here. I'm still getting used to the controls here. You'll see me do that for a little while, but it doesn't last too long, so it's not too bad. And like I said in the previous video, I could have spawned the chainsaw dude, but I just didn't feel like I guess I really wasn't feeling like it because it's been a while since I played this game, and I just kind of wanted to, ease my way into it. Although now I'm kind of thinking back, and again, something's wrong with my depth perception here, but I was kind of not feeling comfortable, but I said, you know what? In hindsight, I had a ton of weapons, and I was in a pretty good position, so I could have been okay in spawning him, but it's alright. It's really no big deal. It's just a difference of money at this point. And so there's a few areas here that I'm just gonna look at. I don't know if it's this house that you go into that you can spawn the guy. I'm not sure, but something. So oh my gosh. So I'm gonna go through here, and I think I actually wound up breaking the barrel through the door, which was kind of weird. I don't know what was up with that. Any game coders, game designers will probably have a fancy explanation for that. So yeah, for those of you guys that heard recently that apparently there's this new Silent Hill game coming out, which is like called Silent Hills, and apparently has Daryl Dixon in it. Who knew? That's a hell of a crossover. I mean, of course it's not Daryl Dixon, it's Norman Reedus, but like honestly, like when I first heard the news, I was just kind of like, are you for real here? I thought it was a joke. Like I'm like, I don't believe this, but it seems legitimate at this point. So kind of curious. I'm looking forward to it. The thing is with Silent Hill, like, I like the older games. I mean, where have we heard that before, huh? I like the older games, but not the newer ones so much. And like with I guess maybe I'm a creature of habit or something like that, but I just don't like the changes that they made. I played pretty much all the Silent Hill games except Downpour. But I have it. No, I'm sorry, I think I sold it. I actually had it, I never played it, and I just actually sold it because I'm like, I'm never gonna play this game. So I got rid of it. So the thing is that, like, right around when Homecoming came out, I mean, I absolutely detest Homecoming. I really, really hate that game. And right here, I'm trying to figure out how to get up to this kind of walkway up here, this roof. So let's go back in here. But I played it, and I actually still have Homecoming. I'm gonna try it again. It's one of those things I'm kind of curious about. Because first of all, it feels completely different than all the other Silent Hill games that came before it. The thing that I like about the Silent Hill games, and by the way, this is actually a really good spot if it's your first time, you don't have many weapons, and the enemies will only come at you from that one side, so you can kind of have your back. I don't know if enemies will throw things at you, like their hatchets or whatever, but at least you won't have people surrounding you. So, and I learned that from another YouTuber, but yeah, I'm recommending it as well. I've tried it. So, going back to Homecoming, first of all, there's gore in this game. There's gore in the game, and Silent Hill, for all the for all its disturbing aspects, is not a gory. They weren't gory games. They scared you by other tactics. And when I started playing Homecoming, I'm like, wow, you can really, really tell. And by the way, I like Leon's kind of like Sex in the City pictures right here. Kind of awesome. Like, who the hell takes pictures like this? Okay, here, you're gonna get me just walking across Fifth Avenue right here. And I always love when people leave memos lying around so that the enemy can pick them up and just kind of read exactly what the plan is. It's comical at this point. So we're going through here. And, yes, this part right here. Kind of a, I guess, a farm type area. So, now there are enemies here. And right now I'm thinking, because Leon's health is at its max, because I played, you know, this is kind of a cleared save file. I'm gonna try to employ the tactic of saving the yellow herbs for Ashley, because I think I can increase her maximum health. And that doesn't look realistic at all, does it? That shooting animation. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick off these guys. But Homecoming, alright, so you have it's gory. It's a gory game. And right there I said, okay, this is completely different. And I'm not saying change is bad in and of itself, but when a change is bad, a change is bad. You see what I'm saying? Like this sort of thing. And Homecoming, admittedly, I have to say I didn't get very far in it. That's for sure. But it was really, really frustrating, the combat. And that's the problem. And you know, it's a fair criticism to say, well, oh, you just don't know how to play the game. You need to learn how to play the game. Yeah, and I get that. But you know what? If I was interested in playing a game that's centered on combat, I wouldn't. Then that's fine. But I don't expect that in a Silent Hill game. As a matter of fact, the earlier Silent Hill games were all about you should try to avoid enemies, that kind of thing. And not to mention the fact that, again, the emphasis with the earlier Silent Hill games, kind of the classic ones, was about the horror. So what did they wind up doing? They wound up giving you different difficulty levels. So you can say, you know what, I really don't want to be bothered with the combat, or I at least want to get through the story, or I want to see what horror elements are there. So they put various difficulty modes. You can play it on normal, you can play it on easy, and then if you're really up to it, you can play it on hard. Like, you can work your way up to it. But with this game, I don't remember if there was a difficulty level. There might be, with Homecoming, that is. And I'm sorry, but it was hard. Like, I was too busy trying to chain combos, because this is what the game wanted me to do, that I was just like, forget, I can't even pay attention to the story anymore. I can't even get a chance to enjoy being frightened by the game. So I really didn't like it. And the funny thing is, I actually didn't mind Origins that much. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't as great as, like, let's say Silent Hill 2 and 3. I mean, to me, those are the best. The first game obviously is the first game. That's the game that kind of started it all, so, you know, always have to respect that. But then, and the fourth game too, the fourth game was very different, but it's good. It's a scary game, and it's very interesting. I can't get enough of the sniping in this game, by the way. There's something so satisfying about it. But I wanna, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and try Homecoming again. Maybe. Gonna give it like one more chance, just to see how it is. Honestly, the one thing that kind of saves the game, I don't want to say saves the game, but the one thing that I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's still Silent Hill-ish, is the music. Because Akira Yamaoka was the composer for that, for Homecoming as well. And of course, naturally, because of that, the music is amazing. And then when I learned that Akira Yamaoka was gonna no longer be a part of the Silent Hill series, and then I think Downpour came out after he left, and I was just like, okay, that's it. That was the last kind of shred of an identity, of the Silent Hill identity for the series, and I said, okay, I'm done. So I'm really very curious, and now Hideo Kojima is involved in this whole Silent Hill business, and I like Hideo Kojima. He's a legend. But I just have to wait and see. I don't know. See, I was waiting for this dude. I wasn't sure where he was. And it's interesting. You'll see when I do my Resident Evil 5 Let's Play. When you stun an enemy, it's very different in this game. When you stun an enemy and basically make them vulnerable to a melee attack, than the 5th game. So it kind of takes some getting used to. It kind of takes some getting accustomed to. So I'm pretty sure this area is kind of clear. So I'm just gonna go ahead and explore a little bit. Slowly gathering the spinel, whatever that is. I never heard of that word before. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? So, and then speaking of the Silent Hill series, the movies, I didn't even see the second movie. I didn't at all. I literally just looked at the preview for Revelation when it came out. Was it Revelation or Revelations? I don't know. I looked at the preview for it, and I just said, okay, I'm done. I'm not even gonna bother watching this. I'm not gonna go to the movies to watch this. I'm not gonna even watch this at home. And I still haven't seen it. And it just looked silly. It looked stupid. I mean, but to be fair, again, I didn't see the whole movie, so I can't really make it. So I recognize that I can't really make a fair judgment on it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe one of these days I will go ahead and watch it. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually going after the medallions. I don't know why I think a handgun. Oh, I actually got it. Okay. And I think there's 7 in this area. I can't remember. I know there's a total of 15, as you see, and you only need 10 for. You only need 10 to get the gun that the merchant gives you, the Punisher. But I don't know what 15 nets you, if it nets you a more powerful version of the Punisher. So I'm actually gonna go for all 15. It's really not too bad, because the thing is that the map helps you anyway. So if you're ever stuck, like, you're not sure where a blue medallion is, you can just kind of get a general idea from the map, which is what I wind up doing. So just gonna kind of carefully pick through this area and see. There's just a few more that I need to get, I think. Yeah, like 3 more. I think there's 7 in this area. You know, Leon has actually I don't know. I'd like to think he has a rather steady hand with this kind of gun. You know, with holding guns. Because I would imagine if I ever were to hold a gun, and I never really have, not a real gun, I'd be so shaky. Because the thing is, I have like shaky hands. Oh my gosh, and it's the worst, especially if people are watching me do something. Oh my god, maybe it's just an anxiety type of thing. All of a sudden, my hands just shake like I have. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. I remember one time. Okay, and this was back when I worked in the lab. So you know, sometimes you have to deal with really tiny things, like a biology lab. So I had to do a technique called pipetting, which is just basically putting a very small amount of liquid into some container, some chamber of some sort. So it was like the tiniest thing that I had to do. We had, very, very, very minuscule amounts of liquid that we needed to deal with. So this person was trying to teach me a certain technique with this thing, and because they were watching me, my hands were shaking so bad. It was so embarrassing. Like, I'm still horrified by that, and that was like 7 years ago, which is just crazy to me. But oh my gosh, I just can't have people watching me, because I'm just like, oh my god, I can't do this. So it's just one of those things. So I'm gonna have to try to find a way. There's actually a treasure in this area, so I just have to find another way to get to it. And we'll see. And the thing here is that seeing Leon in his RPD outfit almost makes me want to do a let's play of what is it? The best Resident Evil game ever, Operation Raccoon City. Now, that game gets a lot of flack, and of course I'm being very sarcastic, but the thing is that I didn't actually get a chance to kind of play it myself. I wound up playing it with a bunch of other people, and the thing is that, you know, then maybe I'm just not a very social person, but then people want to skip cutscenes. Oh, this is what happens. I can't stand when people do that. I really can't. I'm like, can you do me a favor and just understand the fact that this is my first time playing the game? Do you mind if I just want to actually listen to the cutscene? But no, of course not. They want to talk all over it. So I have no idea what the story's about in Operation Raccoon City. I mean, I do know that it takes place. Obviously, it's in Raccoon City, given the name, no, but it takes place around the time of RE2 and RE3. So, oh, and by the way, like, what I'm curious to know, maybe you guys can answer, the Outbreak games. In terms of a timeline, when do they take place? I know they take place kind of leading up to the destruction of Raccoon City, so, like, the end of 3. But I know there's, like, different scenarios, so I don't know if these take place over the course of a few days or a few hours even. So, if anybody knows that, please let me know. I would love to know that. So, back to Operation Raccoon City. I think this is kind of the same way similarly, Leon looks like this, and then there's this weirdness about you can kill him in the end. Like, what the hell? Like, what am I playing? So I just kind of vaguely remember my experience playing Raccoon City. And because it's a Resident Evil game, and like I said, I know it's bad, but I just kind of want to play it again. But this time by myself so I can kind of sit and digest the information. You know, what I'm seeing, what's going on. So I'm down to my last blue medallion here. And I have no idea where it is, so I'm just going to look up here and see what's going on. It's going to be somewhere in this sort of area. Something like that. And of course, you know, I'm blind as a bat, so I'm just like, what the heck? But I just found it, so there you go. So that's it. Those are all 7. So the other section, the other area I need to look for them will be the cemetery. So that's going to be coming up. So I'm just kind of confirming that. So there you go. Alright. Though, by the way, I did pick up the shotgun in the previous area. I forgot to mention this just to sell it. Because, I mean, the Striker, to me, I just like the Striker the best just because when you upgrade it completely, you get that extra upgrade. It can hold 100 rounds, which is insane. That's just crazy. Alright, so this door is going to be for later. I'm gonna have to wait to get Ashley so she can help me get out of this area. Hey, look, there's more stuff. Cool. So you have Operation Raccoon City. I'm still holding out hope that they're gonna have an Outbreak game, like a new Outbreak game, or at the very least port the old Outbreak games. What I would give to have an experience playing with other people, something that's kind of like the classic Resident, sort of like the classic Resident Evil games. They're of course very different. And the thing was that I can't remember if it was last year or the year before or something like that, like 2012, 2013, when there was like a rumor that there was going to be a new Outbreak game. It was going to be called like Thousand Oaks or something like that. And I just remember being so excited. I'm like, is this legit? No, of course not. Hell no. I've seen the signpost before. Oh yeah. So I know it's coming. That's why I'm going very slowly, just getting ready. Oh snap. Because Leon runs impossibly fast. It's kind of hilarious. Alright, so. Well, that was great. And yes, I could make the obligatory, oh, well, Chris punches boulders joke, but I'm not going to. It's like how these people live in extremely poor conditions and yet they have all these like gems around them. Like, this is just silly. And check this out. Leon's like freaking out. Like, he's like looking. Well, you'll see it in a minute. Because there's like bats in the cave. So you see Leon just kind of like looking at them. So I'm like, you just freaking killed like half a village. And you didn't even react. And you see a bunch of little bats that are not really doing anything to you. And you're freaking out. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's it. So you see what I mean there. So, I know there's enemies in this area, and I also know that there's dynamite and bear traps. So I hate the bear traps just because it's just kind of like I said, I'm blind as a bat. So I'm just kind of, you know, sometimes I'll miss them because sometimes for me they blend into the ground. I don't know if that guy had dynamite. Oh yeah, that guy had dynamite, but now he's no more, so that's kind of cool. Oh, go. Okay. There's another guy that's alive. Where is he? Okay, I think I see his. Okay, we're good. And see, I wasn't kidding about Leon freaking out about these bats. Maybe he's just so badass that he's like, these ganados, they ain't gonna kill me. But a bat could give me rabies. I don't know. What do bats carry? I feel like bats carry a lot of stuff. It's like bats are always blamed for like many diseases. I mean, of course, a lot of it is legitimate. Like, you know, they genuinely do carry some, you know, those diseases. So of course they're gonna get blamed for them. But I don't know. You know, honestly, I don't know what's so freaky about bats. Maybe it's just that I've not really seen a bat in person, to be honest. But I don't know. And I know there's like vampire bats or whatever and just all that nonsense, but I've never really had much experience with them, so I don't know. I just don't really understand the fear of them. Oh, there's some more explosives. Okay, I do believe there is a treasure in this area, so I'm gonna try to look for it. So yeah, for some reason I hear an enemy around, but I have no idea where he is. I try to fight him, but then I'm just gonna be like, you know what? F it. And just move on. Okay. There's a treasure. It's gonna be in that nest up there, so. Red cat's eye. It's gonna be one of those treasures that I need to combine. I think this one goes with the beer. Is it Bierstein or Bierstein? I have no idea. I think it goes in it. And I always wind up. I mean, the nice thing about the replay games is once you buy a treasure map, you can. I think it'll remain with you, and you can automatically see where the treasure is in the next playthrough, so you don't have to worry about buying it again. So, I just think it's worth it. I think it's worth it, so. So, we're gonna try to see the source of this, what this banging is all about. Maybe some ganados are getting a little busy. Ew, but hey. And again, these ganados look like they live in extremely poor conditions, and they have all this gold lying around. What's up with that? So I'm gonna go ahead and save, though. Gonna leave you guys kind of with a little cliffhanger here. What's this banging? Well, I don't know. Well, I do know, but, you know, for the sake of this video, I'll say I don't know. Alright. Until next time.